Good morning. Today's Wednesday, March 10th, 2021. Our I Can for today says, I can find equivalent fractions for tenths and 1/100ths and add. So I'm going to start by drawing a model for us. I'm going to draw two boxes. They're very large boxes. And I want both of my boxes to be about the same size and about the same shape. I'm going to start by making 9 lines down in each one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. All right. So picture this as like your jumbo-sized chocolate bar. And I'm going to color in some of my chocolate bar. So let's see here. I'm going to get a colored pencil. And I'm going to shade in 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm going to shade in 7 of my pieces. So if I had 10 pieces to start with, and I decided to shade in 7 of them, how much did I shade in? I would have shaded 7 tenths. Do you guys agree with me? Absolutely. All right, now watch. Over here, I'm going to draw a very similar shape. I'm going to draw 9 lines down. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Now I'm also going to make 9 lines going side to side. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And I know some of you can look at that and quickly tell me how many pieces are over here. There are 100 pieces. So this side I had split into tenths. This side I have split into hundredths. So I'm going to go ahead and color 7 hundredths. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. This is 7 tenths, and this is 7 hundredths. Which one would you rather have? I'd rather have 7 tenths because it's almost the whole chocolate bar. 7 hundredths are just a couple of tiny squares, only 7 squares. Well, how many squares, how many hundredths would I have to shade in to be equal to 7 tenths? Well, if I shaded in one row, that would be 10. Another row would be 20. Another row would be 30. Another row would be 40. Another row would be 50. I'm getting closer. Another row would be 60. Another row would be 70. Now that actually looks equal to me. Look at how much is colored in green and how much is colored in green. I think we could say that 7 tenths is equal to 70 hundredths. That's what we're going to be working on today, changing our numbers to be equal to each other. So we're going to start in your book, actually. I want you to turn to page 37, and we're in a new book. This is our Module 6 and 7 book. If you want to use this picture, if you don't have the book, don't worry. I just want to use this picture for you just to show another similar example. If I colored in 3 tenths, look, this shows 1 whole chocolate bar. If I showed 3 tenths on this side, I'm going to shade them in 3 tenths. 1, 2, 3. That's 3 out of 10 pieces. I realize it's a little bit light. Let me see if I can make it darker. Now I'm going to come on the other side and I'm going to shade 3 boxes. 1, 2, 3. Does 3 tenths equal 3 hundredths? No, it's not equal to each other. It's not even close. I would have to shade in 3 of these long columns for them to be equal to each other. And then it wasn't 3 that was shaded in, but 30. So we could say that 3 tenths is equal to 30 hundredths. So let's practice a couple. I'm going to ask you a few would you rathers. let's start with 7/10 or 60/100. And if you notice, I left some space after my tenths. That'll help us in a minute. Would you rather have 7/10 or 60/100? Now, I can think about this a couple different ways. I could think about my picture that I drew earlier. I know how much 7/10 is. It's right here. 60/100, that'd be one less than this. It's almost equal. I know what a too fast fourth grader would pick. They would pick 60/100 because it sounds like more. The trick here is we could multiply by 10 on the top and multiply by 10 on the bottom, and we would end up with 70/100. And now that they're both split into hundredths, it's so much easier to see. Would you rather have 70/100 or 60/100? I would rather have 70/100. So the hungry alligator eats the fraction that's greater. Okay. Let's try another one like that. Let's try 3/10 or 26/100. Well, I have tenths and hundredths, so I can't really compare them. I need the same denominator. But I know if I multiply by 10 on the top and multiply by 10 on the bottom, then I can easily compare them. Would you rather have 30/100 or 26/100? 30/100. So the hungry alligator eats the fraction that's greater. All right, let's try a couple with adding. We're gonna try the first three together, and then I'm gonna give you a couple to try on your own. So here's an example number 1. What if I had 69/100 plus 1/10 equals? I'm going to teach you a too fast fourth grader answer. A too fast fourth grader would say 70/110. But this is what we call a no-no. No, you don't want to do that. We can't add hundredths plus tenths. We have to change one of the denominators so that we have equal denominators. So if I multiply by 10 on top and multiply by 10 on the bottom, I end up with 10/100. I'm going to rewrite it down here so it doesn't get sloppy. 69/100 plus 10/100 equals 79/100. And this is the right answer. Please be careful. If you ever get an answer that says 100/10, you know it is wrong. Have you ever heard of 110th? No. We've heard of tenths. We've heard of hundredths, but not of 100/10. All right, let's try another one. Here's number 2. 30/100 plus 4/10. Too fast fourth grader. Miss Kirsten, I can do this in my head. 34/110. No, this is a no. Don't be a too fast fourth grader. That is not what we're going to do. You can't do these in your head. We have to write the steps so that we're careful and accurate. This one's already in hundredths. This one's in tenths. I'm going to multiply by 10 on top and multiply by 10 on the bottom. Now I have 30/100 plus 40/100 equals, if you said 70/100, you were exactly right. If you said 72/100, you were a too fast fourth grader. This is the right answer. Okay, our denominator is always going to stay the same. The denominator, we never add or subtract the denominator. All right, here's number 3. I think we're starting to get the hang of them. 31/100 plus 6/10 equals, you said 37/110. That was a no-no. Please don't be a too fast fourth grader. Don't try to do them in your head. First thing we have to do is we need a common denominator. I'm going to multiply by 10 on this side, multiply by 10 on both sides, and I'm going to rewrite it. 31 hundredths plus 60 hundredths, that equals 91 hundredths, and that is the correct answer. So take your time. It's lots of practice. You'll make a couple silly mistakes, but be careful. Don't be a too fast fourth grader, and I think you'll do just fine. Have a good day.